Hi, welcome to English Hamster. Are you learning English? Great. Here we learn through stories. They are simple and interesting. You can improve English while learning knowledge. Remember to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Hello there, welcome. I am so happy you are here to learn English. Many people think, I need to speak to learn English fast. They try to remember many grammar rules. They feel nervous to talk. They think speaking is the fastest road to good English. But what if I tell you there is a better way, a much easier and more natural way? It is like a secret key. This key is listening. Think about a baby. A little baby does not open a book to study grammar. The baby does not make vocabulary lists. No, the baby just listens. For 1 year, maybe 2 years, the baby listens to its mother, father, and family. The baby hears words, songs, and simple sounds. The baby does not understand everything at first, but the brain is working. It is collecting all the sounds and words. Then, one day, the baby says a simple word like mama or milk. Later, the baby says, I want milk. The baby learns to speak by listening first. This is how we all learn our first language. It is natural and it works. So, why do we change this when we learn a second language like English? We often think, I must speak perfectly now. This can make us feel stressed. We are afraid to make mistakes. But your brain is very smart. It can learn English in the same natural way. You just need to give your ears and your brain a lot of English sounds. This is the counterintuitive truth. Counterintuitive means it feels wrong, but it is right. It feels like listening is slow. It feels like you are not doing anything. But listening is the true shortcut. Listening is like planting a seed. You water the seed every day with English sounds. You cannot see the plant grow under the soil, but it is growing. One day, you will see a beautiful plant. Your English will grow like that plant. Let me tell you a short story about my friend, Anna. Anna wanted to learn English very fast. She lived in a country where people did not speak English. She tried to study grammar books every day. She knew many rules, but when she met an English person, she could not say anything. She was too nervous. Her brain was too busy thinking about grammar rules. Then, she changed her method. She decided to just listen. Every morning, she listened to a simple English song. On her way to work, she listened to a short English podcast for beginners. In the evening, she watched her favorite TV show with English subtitles. She did not try to understand every single word. She just listened for 10 or 15 minutes every day. After 2 months, something amazing happened. She was watching her show, and she understood a full sentence without looking at the subtitles. She was so happy. Then, a few weeks later, she was in a shop and a tourist asked her, "Where is the train station?" Anna did not think about grammar. She just heard the question and said, "Go straight." It was a simple sentence, but it came out naturally. She did not translate it in her head. This was the power of listening. It prepared her brain to understand and speak. Listening is not a passive activity. It is not like background noise. It is an active gift for your brain. When you listen, you are not just hearing sounds. You are teaching your brain the music of English. You are learning the rhythm, the speed, and the feeling of the words. This is the hidden power of listening. It is the first and most important step. It is the foundation of a strong house. If you have a strong foundation, you can build a big and beautiful house on top of it. Your English house will be strong if you start with listening. So, are you ready to learn more about this amazing secret? Are you ready to use your ears to learn English faster? Good. Let us continue our journey and see how your amazing brain works when you listen. So, we know that listening is a secret key. But what happens inside your head when you listen? It is like a fantastic superpower your brain has. Every time you listen to English, your brain is working hard. It is building new roads. Let me explain. Imagine your brain is a big, dark forest. When you think in your first language, the roads in this forest are very clear and easy to walk on. You can walk very fast. But when you start learning English, there are no roads in this part of the forest. It is difficult to walk. You have to cut down trees and move rocks. This is very slow work. But when you listen to English every day, you are doing something amazing. You are building a new, smooth road in this forest. Every English word you hear is like one small stone on this new road. At first, the road is very rough. But if you add more stones every day, the road becomes better and stronger. Soon, you can walk on this road without thinking. This is what we call building neural pathways. It is like a highway for English in your brain. Consistent listening builds these pathways for English comprehension. Comprehension is a big word that simply means understanding. Now let's talk about a big idea called the input hypothesis. Do not worry, it is not a difficult idea. A hypothesis is just a smart guess. This guess says that to learn a language, you need to get a lot of input. Input means the language you hear or read. It is like food for your brain. You need to feed your brain with English sounds. The most important part is this: the input should be a little bit understandable. You do not need to understand every word. You just need to understand the general idea. For example, if you are watching a cartoon about a cat looking for milk, you can understand the story from the pictures. You hear the words cat, milk, where, and sad. Your brain starts to connect these words to the story. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. It loves to find patterns. It listens to the sounds and starts to see the patterns in the grammar and vocabulary without you even knowing it. Let's see how your brain absorbs grammar without study. Think about the word walked. You hear it in many sentences. She walked to the park. He walked his dog. They walked home. You never study a rule that says, add ed to the verb for the past. But your brain hears this pattern again and again. Slowly, it understands that walked means something happened yesterday. Then, when you want to say, I cooked dinner yesterday, your brain might say, wait, that sounds strange. It has heard cooked so many times that I cooked dinner feels more natural. You did not memorize a rule, you absorbed it by listening. This is subconscious learning. Subconscious means it happens without you trying. It is like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you think about every move, but after practice, you just ride. You don't think, now I push my right foot. It becomes automatic. Vocabulary learning is the same. When you hear a new word in a story, you can often guess its meaning. For example, if you hear, it was a colossal building, so big it touched the clouds. You might not know the word colossal, but you hear so big and touched the clouds. Your brain understands that colossal must mean very, very big. This is much more powerful than just reading a definition in a dictionary. You remember the word with the story and the feeling. It has context. Context is the situation around the word. It helps your brain remember. My friend Anna from our first story experienced this. She told me that she heard the phrase, I'm kind of tired, many times in her TV shows. She did not look up kind of in a dictionary. But from listening, she understood it means a little bit or sort of. One day, her friend asked her if she wanted to go out, and she naturally said, no, thanks, I'm kind of tired. She was surprised. The words just came out. Her brain had rewired itself. It had built a strong pathway for that phrase. So remember, you are not just hearing when you listen. You are a builder. You are building strong, fast roads in your brain for the English language. Every minute you spend listening is like adding another stone to your new, smooth highway. You are feeding your brain with the patterns and music of English. And the most beautiful part, you can do this while you are on the bus, cooking dinner, or taking a walk. Your amazing brain will do the work for you, quietly and efficiently, building your fluency one sound at a time. For many years, people learned English in a very different way. The traditional method is often about studying. You sit in a classroom, you get a big grammar book, you memorize rules, I am, you are, he is, she is. You learn long lists of vocabulary words. You do many grammar exercises. This method can feel very slow and sometimes very frustrating. Why? Because when you want to speak, your brain is too busy. It is trying to remember the correct rule. It is searching for the right word from your list. It is like trying to cook a big meal for friends while reading the recipe for the first time. You are slow. You feel stressed. You are afraid to make a mistake. This is the old way. It focuses on thinking about the language instead of just using the language. The listening way is different. It is like learning to dance. You do not learn to dance by only reading a book about dance steps. You learn to dance by listening to the music and moving your body. At first, your moves are simple. Maybe you just move your head to the music. Then, you start to feel the rhythm in your feet. Soon, you are dancing without thinking about every step. Listening to English is like listening to the music before you dance. It prepares your body and your mind for the movement of speaking. One of the biggest gifts of listening is that it helps you stop translating. When you learn with the old method, you often think in your first language and then translate to English. This takes a lot of time and energy. Imagine you want to say, "The cat is sleeping on the sofa." In the translation method, your brain does this. First, you think the sentence in your language. Then you find the word for cat. Then is, then sleeping. Then you remember the rule for prepositions. What is the word for on? Is it in or on? Finally, you find the word for sofa. You say the sentence, but it feels slow and difficult. Now imagine the listening way. You have heard the phrase on the sofa many times in songs or shows. You have heard the cat is sleeping in a story for children. When you want to say the sentence, you don't go through all the steps of translation. You just remember the sound of the phrase. You have a feeling for what is correct. The words come out almost like a single piece of music. The cat is sleeping on the sofa. This is direct understanding. You understand the English sound directly without going back to your first language. This is a very important step for fluency. This leads us to the wonderful aha moment. This is the moment when your brain starts thinking in English. It is a magical feeling. Let me tell you about Carlos. Carlos listened to English every day for 6 months. He liked to listen to simple stories while he ran in the park. One day, he was running and he saw a big, beautiful dog. And then a thought came into his head. The thought was not in his first language. The thought was in English. He thought, "What a beautiful dog." He was so surprised. He stopped running. He did not plan to think that. The thought just appeared. It was his own thought, but it was in English. This was his aha moment. His brain had started to use the new roads he built. It was now thinking directly in English. This does not mean you will never think in your first language again. Of course not. But it means that English is becoming a real part of your thinking. It is not just a school subject anymore. It is a living language inside your mind. These small aha moments will become more and more common. You will dream in English. You will talk to yourself in English when you are cooking. You will see a bus and think, "The bus is late," in English. This is the sign that your brain is rewiring itself for fluency. This is accelerated fluency. Accelerated means faster. It feels faster because it is more natural and much less stressful. So do not be afraid to put the grammar book down for some time. Do not worry about making mistakes when you speak. First, feed your brain with many, many English sounds. Build those strong roads. Let your brain absorb the patterns. The speaking will come. The confidence will come. The aha moments will come. You are not just learning English, you are allowing your brain to live in English. And that is the true secret to learning faster and with more joy. Now you know the secret. You understand the amazing power of listening. But you might be thinking, this is great, but what should I do now? How do I start? Do not worry. It is easier than you think. You do not need to study for 5 hours every day. The key is to make English listening a normal, happy part of your daily life. Let us talk about some simple and actionable strategies you can use today. First, find English audio that you enjoy. This is very important. If you enjoy it, you will continue doing it. Do you like music? Find some simple English songs. Listen to them. You do not need to understand every word. Just feel the music and try to catch a few words. Do you like to watch movies or TV shows? Watch them in English with English subtitles. Start with cartoons or simple sitcoms. The pictures will help you understand the story. Do you like stories? Listen to a podcast for English learners. There are many podcasts made especially for A1 and A2 levels. They speak slowly and clearly. You can listen to them on your phone when you are on the bus, walking, or cleaning your house. The next important idea is the difference between active and passive listening. Passive listening is when English is just background noise. You hear it, but you are not really paying attention. This is okay sometimes, but it is not very powerful. Active listening is when you really focus. You try to understand the main idea. What is the conversation about? How do the people feel? Are they happy? Sad? You listen for keywords. You do not stop for every word you do not know. You just keep listening. Maybe you listen to the same audio 2 or 3 times. The first time, you just try to understand the story. The second time, you can listen for more details. Active listening for just 15 minutes a day is much better than passive listening for many hours. There are also many smart tools to help you. You can use YouTube. You are watching this video here. That is a great start. You can find many channels for English listening. You can use apps on your phone. Some apps have short stories and podcasts. Some apps let you slow down the speed of the audio. This can be very helpful at the beginning. You can listen to a sentence at a slower speed and then at normal speed. The most important thing is to choose something that is not too difficult. It should be a little bit challenging, but not frustrating. You should understand the general idea. Now, let us imagine you have been listening for some time. You have built strong roads in your brain. You have started to have some aha moments. What happens next? The most beautiful part of the journey begins. You become a confident communicator. You will see how your good listening naturally helps your speaking and pronunciation. When you listen to a lot of English, you learn the correct pronunciation without trying. You hear how native speakers connect words. You hear the rhythm and the music of the language. For example, you hear that I am going to often sounds like I'm gonna. After hearing it 100 times, your brain and your mouth know how to say it. It feels natural. Your accent will improve. You will start to copy the sounds you hear all the time. It is like learning a song. After you hear it many times, you can sing it. This also builds a bridge to speaking. You have so many correct sentences and sounds in your head. When you want to speak, you do not need to create a sentence from nothing. You can use the pieces you have heard. You might say, I'm kind of tired, just like my friend Anna, because you heard it many times. This makes speaking much easier and less stressful. You feel more confident because you are using language you know is correct. This creates a wonderful ripple effect. Improved listening reduces speaking anxiety. Why? Because when you understand what people are saying to you, you feel calm. You are not afraid of the conversation. You can focus on your answer. And because you have heard so much English, the words for your answer are already there in your mind, waiting for you. You do not need to search for them. This confidence is a fantastic feeling. It makes learning English fun. So this is your ultimate guide. Your brain has a natural ability to learn languages. You used this ability when you were a baby. You can use it again now for English. Trust the power of listening. Make it a daily habit. Find content you love. Listen actively for a short time every day. Be patient with yourself. Do not give up. One day, you will be in a conversation with someone in English. You will understand them easily. You will answer their question without thinking about grammar rules. The words will just come. In that moment, you will not be a student. You will be a communicator. You will be a confident English speaker. And it all started when you decided to just listen. Thank you for reading. I believe in you and your English journey. You can do it.
Hey, if you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and it really helps to create more English videos for you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.